Okay, here are the top 10 most complained about home features from homeowners who had a brand new house built. Now, I polled my Instagram and Facebook audience and I got about 300 solid responses, and that's where this top 10 list came from. Okay, coming in at number 10 is going to be double vanity. So when I first saw this, I was pretty surprised because I thought homeowners were saying that they wanted to share a sink with their spouse, which would be ridiculous. But no, what they're actually saying is that they want one solid vanity with one countertop and then two sinks installed in there, and that gives them more countertop space to work with. But me personally, I have a split vanity right now where Kippy has hers to the left, I have mine to the right, and there's a walkway into the closet in between, and I like that because I have my own dedicated space that Kippy can't steal. If I'm sharing that countertop space, she's definitely going to be making her way over to mine. So me personally, I like that space divided, and I'm curious, as I'm going through this list, let me know in the comments what your choice is, because some of this stuff on the list might surprise you as well, and I'm curious if you agree or disagree with what I have listed here. Okay, coming in at number 9 is an open floor plan. People are wanting specific rooms for specific things instead of a kitchen that's shared with a living room that's shared with a dining room. I personally have an open floor plan. I like it, but there was a lot of complaints about having that open floor plan where you disturb each other. Let's say someone's in the kitchen cleaning dishes, someone's trying to watch a movie, someone might be in the dining room doing a little bit of work, and I can see where having those separate rooms would really be helpful. Okay, number 8 is extremely high ceilings, and they're talking like 20 foot or taller. And when you walk into a house with really high ceilings, it is grand and luxurious and it looks awesome. But if you're on a budget or trying to be practical in any way, it doesn't make any sense to have those really high ceilings because you're conditioning that space and you're not able to even use it. Okay, number 7 is barn door. And I think most of you will agree that barn doors are kind of on their way out anyway, but this was a big complaint in the poll that I did because everyone was just saying they're ugly, there's no privacy, and they just don't make a lot of sense in a lot of the spaces that are being designed now. And I'm curious, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna say 95% of you are going to agree that barn doors are kind of out. Okay, number 6 on the list is hollow core doors. And if you're not familiar, hollow core doors are exactly like they're described, as they're hollow on the inside. The only thing that's kind of holding them together is some styrofoam or some cardboard that's laid inside, so it gives it a little bit of rigidity. Now, a lot of the doors in your house are probably hollow core doors, but everyone's complaining about them because let's say you do interior wall insulation because you don't want noise transfer. If you use a hollow core door, you're still going to be able to hear that noise transfer there. So you want to make sure you use solid core doors on your main living areas because those hollow core doors are super light and they just feel cheap. So I understand if you're going to go with a hollow core door on your closets or spaces that aren't being used very often, that makes all the sense in the world. But for your main living areas, go ahead and go with those solid core doors. Okay, number 5 is going to be a TV above the fireplace. Now this is a common one and I understand why, and that's because the TV viewing angle, right? It's so high, and then you also have issues with the heat. But I'm going to show you some ways that you can kind of work around that. So when it comes to the heat, I have a big solid wood mantle above the fireplace, and you can feel the heat come up and ride in front of the mantle, and it's a non-issue for the TV. And even those hollow mantles that are faux, they're kind of like synthetic mantles, they're not as heavy, but those are built to withstand that heat as well and push that heat away from the TV. Now the other issue is going to be your TV viewing angle, and this is how you can avoid that. If you go with a hearth that's low, that's going to bring the TV down even lower. And then if you combine that with a linear fireplace instead of the traditional boxy fireplace, that's going to give you even more room to bring the TV down lower and really fix that TV viewing angle. Now there's an Amazon product, it's a TV mount that you can get, and it'll actually pull the TV down in front of the mantle. So like here's the wall, the TV's here, it will pull it out off the wall and then down, and you have just the regular TV viewing angle that everybody's seeking. So there's some ways to work around it, but overall people were not happy with having a TV over the fireplace. All right, number 4 is going to be a microwave over the stove. So I think we've all seen the microwave over the stove. A lot of them have built-in exhaust vents, and those don't really make much sense because they're just sucking in the air, putting it through a little filter and then spitting it back out into the room. They look ugly, they kind of break up the cabinets. So your other options are going to be a microwave in-drawer microwave. That's a good one. Some of the complaints there though are that they're very hard to clean. You could put a microwave down on your lower cabinets or even tuck it away and hide it in the pantry. All right, so number 3 is going to be your Jack and Jill style bathrooms. A lot of people said they hate it, and mostly because their kids argue over that shared space. And this is where I don't think this makes a lot of sense, because people are arguing that instead of having a Jack and Jill, you're going to give each kid their own bathroom. Now, if that doesn't fit in your budget, you don't really have much of a choice. So those kids can either get used to sharing that one bathroom, the Jack and Jill style design, or hell, if they're that big of a pain in the ass, give them one bathroom like we all had to deal with, and they can just share that one. But if you can swing it and you're kind of on the fence, a lot of complaints were saying that the Jack and Jill design was something that they wish they would have moved away from, because they wanted each kid to have their own bathroom. And then that also helps with resale, because if you're trying to sell to somebody who doesn't have kids, then the Jack and Jill doesn't really make sense. So I can see why some people might want to push away from the Jack and Jill. Okay, number 2 on the list is freestanding tubs. I was kind of shocked at first when I saw this, because everybody wants a freestanding tub. It's in every single new build that I go in. And I think it's because it looks good on Pinterest, right? The idea of you sitting in this awesome freestanding tub seems amazing. But in practicality, you don't use the tub that much, and you spend more time cleaning around it than anything else. So I can see why a freestanding tub might not be the best feature for a new home build. I don't think too many people are gonna listen to this advice, and they're gonna still go with that freestanding tub, but it's something worth considering. Okay, number 1 on the list is a pot filler. And I'm not really surprised to see this, because everyone always complains about them, even though I still see them popping up in new builds all over the place. And here's the issue with the pot filler, right? The whole reason to have one is to not have to carry a pot of water from the sink over to the stove. But when you're done boiling the water or cooking your pasta, you have to bring the pot of water back over to the sink anyway and dump it. So having the pot filler doesn't really make that much sense. And one of the biggest complaints is like, it's another plumbing fixture that could potentially leak in the future. But here are 2 spots that I think a pot filler would actually work out pretty well. One is going to be where your coffee machine is. I have not seen this done in action, so it's just my idea of thinking what would actually be very practical. And instead of having to bring your coffee reservoir over to the sink and fill it up, you can just have a pot filler, because I fill that thing up all the time, right? You don't really need a drain. You just need to fill it up, and that's it. So I think that would be a really good case for a pot filler. And another one is going to be a built-in dog bowls. So if you've ever seen those built-in dog bowls, a lot of times they'll put them in the end of an island. Ratcliffe Construction solved this problem perfectly. So if you have a pot filler for your dog bowls, it doesn't make sense, because you have to actually drain that nasty old crusty water that the dogs have been drinking out of. If you have a dog, you know what I mean. That water bowl gets pretty nasty. So they actually put a drain inside where the dog bowls sit, so they can drain the water and then fill it up with the pot filler. So those 2 cases, I think a pot filler would be awesome. I'd be curious, let me know in the comments your thoughts on pot filler with some of my ideas, or even just having one over the stove in general. Okay, so that's the end of the list. If you want a massive checklist of all the things that you want to include on your house, it's a bunch of selections and home features and tips and ideas. I have it at builderbrigade.com. You can go check that out. And then do me a favor, like and subscribe to this video so I can just keep pumping out more videos to help you along your home build.